Hey coding owls, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the concept of regex. Now regex stands for regular expression. Regular expression is something which we use for matching a pattern inside a string, a text, normally used in the cases of validation. And the biggest problem we normally face with them is that people try to reverse engineer it. Like they'll see a regex and they'll try to reverse engineer it, which is a very wrong approach. So this video I'm going to show you how can you master the concept of regex in just few simple steps. So let's begin the video.
So regex are basically divided into basic and advanced. And how about we start with the basic one first? As you can see on my screen, this symbols are basically describing what the basic regex are. For example, an asterisk represents that zero or more occurrences, whereas a wildcard character, if I give a period sign, it represents any character. So rather than understanding them collectively here, which will not make any sense, how about we jump into each one of them and try with a simple example, and let me explain how am I going to do that. So before we move ahead, I would like to thank this person, Sujit George. He is a very famous what you can say instructor on Udemy. I bought this course. Now this course is somewhere around 3.5 hours. So yeah, you guys can go on check out this course, but lot of the concepts what I'm going to train you in the regex have been inspired from here. I have given the link of this particular course in the chat window as well. So now coming back to our video. Okay, so before we jump into understanding this code, let's try to understand the pattern in which we are going to work on this. Left hand side contains the word which are supposed to be evaluated. One with the green ticks are one which are supposed to get passed. One which with the red ticks are supposed to get rejected. So in between, I have given you the words which are supposed to be accepted with some gray lines to divide them. For example, foo and bar, and what is there in between. So believe me, this gray lines will help you out to understand this pattern more. So let's begin with the very first one, which is the asterisk symbol. Now, if you see the pattern here, the left is foo, the right is bar, and in between either there is no character or any number of A's are accepted. So if you see the asterisk symbol says any number of characters. So here the final regex would be what? Foo, bar, and any number of A. So when it comes with asterisk, it should be preceding. So I'll say A asterisk. So it says left should be foo, right should be bar. In between there can be zero or more number of A's. So this is what your asterisk symbol does for you. Yeah, I hope this is clear. So let's try this out practically. So I have taken these words here. So I have already written this code, and yeah. So if you see here, I have got the same words which are listed on my screen. So the pattern is foo, A asterisk bar, and I'm trying to match it up. So this is basically a Python code. Same code will work for, or the same asterisk symbol or the same regex will actually work for Java, JavaScript. So what I'll do is in the end, I will give the snip for all the other programming languages as well. For now, let's try for Python, and I'm running this code of asterisk. So you see foo a bar matches, foo a bar matches, foo ax bar doesn't matches. Why? Because we wanted multiple zero or more occurrences only of a. Now moving on to the next one, here what we see that the identifying symbol here what we are going to use is a wildcard. Now when you come with a wildcard, the idea here is in the left bar you can see starts with foo, ends with bar. So that makes us very easy for us to understand our regex pattern first. So starts with foo, ends with bar. But you see here in between foo and bar there can be any, there is no, see, A is passed, X is passed, C is passed, ry is y is not passed. So anything without any and nothing in between is also not passed. So that means when I use a wildcard character, that is nothing but a period symbol. It says left should be foo, right should be bar, in between there can be anything. So here you can see foo a x c bar. So this is the regex which we'll be using for understanding this very properly. So let's try this out practically. So as you can see the code here, the pattern says foo period bar, and for any character which starts, any word which starts with foo, ends with bar, and has only a single character in between, it will match it up. Yeah, it will match it up. So even if it is a number which I have included here, it will pass. Now, the next thing what I want to understand is the combination, how I can make the combination of asterisk and the wildcard symbol. On the left hand side, what I want to do here is foo bar, foo ABC bar, foo XC bar, foo Z bar. So here one thing is quite common, that starts with foo, ends with bar. But the thing here is in between now. There can be 0 or more, and it's not even fixed. Last time I only wanted A, but this time it is not A. It can be any combination. So here obviously it makes sense that I need to use an asterisk symbol. Why? Because it will be 0 or more occurrence, but of what? So I don't know what exactly it can be. So it can be of anything. So that is why I use the wildcard here. So period and asterisk says it left should be foo, right should be bar, in between there can be any combination of any number of characters. So that's how asterisk and wildcard will work together. Yeah, so let's see this practically. So as you can see on my screen right now that I used all the characters, and if I use the pattern of foo dot asterisk bar, what it is doing, it is taking all the combinations. Basically what we have learned right now, this is in execution. Now, the next thing what I want to learn from this particular part is usage of the slashes, which is representation of a space. Now, when I want to work with a space, what does it say? I have got foo bar. So obviously the regex is quite common that I'm going to start with foo, end with bar. But what in between? If you see the expected output here, I have, if there is no space in between, that's fine. If I have 6 spaces in between, that is fine. If I have 1 space in between, if I have got 3 spaces in between, everything is fine. So with space, without space is fine. So here it's quite common that whatever I want to have asterisk. Why do I want to use an asterisk symbol? Why? Because it is 0 or more occurrence. But apart from that, what I want to do next here is I will be making use of slashes. Now slash s symbol is basically something which represents your space. So when you deal with the spaces, you say I have 0 or more spaces here. This is what I want to deal with in this particular example. Let's try this practically. So if you see, I have got the spaces and the pattern what I've used in the execution, and this way what is happening, I am just able to run this and match this data against my given patterns. So important here is understanding how that pattern. So the next thing what I want to understand about here is about the matching of the character range. Now if you see, all of them are ending with OO. Now this is a different pattern. All of them are ending with OO. So that's quite, it makes sense in the pattern. But here the starting character should be F, C or L. M, D, P, B, H are not allowed. So in that situation, it can be starting with any one of those characters. And when we deal with that, what we will do, we will say F, C, L inside a square bracket. When you use something inside a square bracket, it says either F, either C or either L. The word should either start with any one of this character. It will not be all or any combination. It will just say either one of this character. So if the word is starting with F and ending with OO, that will be fine. So that is how this particular character work. Let's see this practically. So here you can see that so here in this code, you can see exactly the same pattern what I have been displaying on the screen is used. So I use FCL inside a square bracket, and now see FOO matches, MOO doesn't matches, COO doesn't, COO matches, then LOO matches, P doesn't matches. Yeah. So this is how we do the character ranges. Now the next one here is a bit see, it's not all the time that when you're writing the pattern you have to match the exact one. Sometimes, see in this example, you can see foo, C, D, P, L, B all are matching. So if I start writing the code, if I use the old pattern, it would be something like this, right? That I have to write F, C, D, P, L, B, and then it should be OO. But this does not make sense sometime. In other implementation, what we can do is rather than matching the symbol here, I can simply say, how about you give a tilt symbol on the top, a caret symbol, sorry, not a tilt but a caret symbol, and you write the words. So it will simply mean that now this character should not be matching. If apart from M and H anything else is there, it will match. So this way, if based upon the given number of series, if I want to write a small, both of them are correct. But the thing is, you should be smart while working on this particular implementations. Okay, so let's see this out practically quickly. So if you see, my pattern here is quite simple. It says all the patterns, but I don't want to start anything which matches with M and H. It should be mismatched, but other things should match. So if you now see at this particular pattern, here what we have is JKLM, and we can make use of ranges here. So obviously this is quite simple, that it ends with O and O. And if I say JKLM, this is fine. Regex has given us a utility. They say if you want to match anything in a range, you can see what if you have continuous character from J till M, how about you make use of J till M and then use OO. So yeah, I hope this is making sense, that if you want to so this means what, any character which falls under J to M, I want to match. See, now try understand, I am working here under the pretext that this is only the input, and based on that I am writing the regex. So you might have a thought that, okay, what if something else come in? So obviously if something else come in, we will make the changes to our regex. That's how it will work, right? So on this pattern, let's about how quickly see the snippet for this. So as you can see here, I said J-M OO. That means that I'm going to write everything here in context to my J-M, and then I end it with OO. Yeah. So that's how we are going to work with this. Okay, now the next one is, we have, if you see the pattern, we have got J, K, L, M and then Z as well. So when I deal with the Z, I see J to M are falling in the range, but Z is something which is I'm using extra. So in this situation, what will I do? I will say, again, it's quite simple that my O and O are ending. So here I will say J hyphen M, and then so J to M is saying what, it's in the range of J to M, and then I make use of Z. So it's like anything between range of J to M should be there, or Z starting with Z, it will be matching. This is how my pattern looks like. Let's see at the snippet of this. So here, as you can see, that I have got the list of characters and J. So J, K, L, M matches, Z matches. Apart from that, any other thing doesn't matches. So this is what you do when you want to deal with the ranges. Okay, so now when we go to this one, you can see I have got J, K, L, M, Z. So quite the same pattern what I had earlier, but this time K and L are in uppercase. So in this situation, what I can do is I will again use the concept of ranges. It will be J to M. Then I'll use uppercase J to uppercase M, and then I will use Z, and then obviously it ends with O and O. So this time you can understand that what exactly I am doing. So I use the yeah, this is uppercase J, not the bracket which is ending. Yeah. So in this situation, as you can see that I am making use of uppercase J, uppercase M, lowercase j to lowercase m. So anything which falls in that, it will be used and then ends with OO. Yeah, let's see at the snip of it. So here you can see I have used lowercase j to lowercase m, uppercase j to uppercase m, ending with Z, then again a Z extra, and then OO. So anything which falls in the range of J to M, anything will fall in the range of J to M uppercase, Z, and then OO. So any one of these matches will be good to go. Now the next implementation, what I want to do here is, I have got X, then I have got some special symbols which are either hash, colon or a period. Ampersand and percentage is something what I'm not looking for. So in this situation, obviously I'll make use of the ranges again. So I know it starts with X, ends with Y, but in between it can be any combination of either a hash, a colon or a period symbol. Now the thing is, the symbol have special values outside the square brackets and also inside the square brackets. So the period inside the square bracket does not mean a while character, but it will be only a period symbol. So this is how you make use of the square brackets here. So this point onward, rather than executing it, you have understood how I'm executing. I'm going to give you the link where all the codes are, so you can check it out from there. But for now, I will just display the snippet on the screen so that you understand how exactly I am working with it. And yeah, so going ahead. Now, the next symbol here. Okay, so as you see on the next symbol here, there is one small problem, because the caret symbol inside the square bracket, as you have seen, it is meant for escaping a character. So again, if we go for the pattern, it will be X or Y, but this time if I make use of hash, that's fine, it will match up. I use colon, it will match up. But this caret symbol, it has a special meaning. Now when you have something with a special meaning, what you need to do is you need to precede it with a backslash. So when you use a backslash and a caret, it means that don't use this caret for escape, like not starting with, but instead use the backslash and the caret to say that this is a caret symbol itself. Okay, so yeah, that's what we are doing in this particular example. Okay, I hope this particular pattern is clear to you guys. Here what we are doing, we are using a caret symbol, but caret has a meaning inside the square bracket. So if you want to escape that caret and use it as a caret itself, what you will do, you will just make use of. Now in this particular example, you can see the next symbol is what, that anything which starts with foo and has anything outside it, apart from that anything, but important is it is starting with. So this is a very important regex where you want to understand what it starts with. So when you want to understand that, what you will do, the symbol what we use here, so now this is outside the brackets, so it's quite simple that it should be starting with foo. But if I want to make sure it starts with foo, I will have to say a caret here. So when I use a caret symbol here, it says starting with foo, then later on any character, any combination. So that is what asterisk and a period symbol and an asterisk. That means any number of characters, yeah, zero or more number of any characters are allowed here, but important is it should start with foo. So I will use a caret symbol here for the foo. So as you can see on the code snip here, how exactly I have been using this. Now if you see the next example, it simply says that it should end with a bar. See, this is ending with bar, this is ending with bar, it is allowed. So starting any combination characters are allowed. So the thing is, I need bar in the end. It says, yeah, that is fine. But I need to make sure this is the very last thing in the character. So here the symbol I'll use is a dollar symbol. And now before this bar, there can be any number of combination of a period symbol and an asterisk. So here any character, any number of any characters are allowed, 0 or more, but it should end with a bar. So for bar, ending with a bar, I use a dollar symbol. So caret is used for starting with, bar is used for ending with. Yeah, I hope you are getting this pattern. So as you can see on my screen, the code for it. So dot asterisk bar dollar, that means anything which ends with bar is allowed, but should be having like bar in the end. Initially anything is allowed. Okay, so now the next character is quite unique. It says it should be foo, but it should start with and end with foo itself, nothing here and there. So I will say a caret and a dollar. So I only want foo starting and ending with foo. This is what I am bringing in here. So it starts with foo, ends with foo itself. So this is how I will use the combination of my characters. So guys, this brings us to the end of the basic regex, what I was trying to work upon with. So next is we will jump into the advanced. As you can see on my screen, for advanced, we have got quite a few patterns here. It says plus symbol. Now plus is one or more occurrence, question mark is 0 or 1 occurrence. Then I use a pipe symbol to match either of the pattern here or there. And then when we want to divide something into the pattern, I will use the round brackets, and then the exact occurrence and minimum and maximum occurrence. So again, as we did earlier, we won't go into much depth here. We will talk about this when we go to each of the topics. So let's start. So as you can see here in the very first one, it is quite simple. It says it should, if you see the input, only the numbers with three numbers in it are matching the outputs. So here I have got starting with, ending with, I have given you the basics one. And it says, see, even this is the correct pattern, but I don't want to use this pattern. I want to say 0 to 9, which is in the range. And now how about we make use of the curly brace? So in the curly brace, if I pass 3, it says it should be 0 to 9 of, like it can be in any combination of 0 to 9. but there can be only 3 of them. So I am telling them that the occurrences which are allowed are only 3. So 0 to 9 can appear for only 3 times. Even this is a correct regex, but I don't want to use this because this is complicated. I don't want to go into that. This one starts with caret, ends with dollar, 0 to 9. So any combination of 0 to 9, but how many times? 3 times. Yeah, 3 times this, and minimum and maximum is 3. There is no minimum maximum separate value here. So minimum and maximum is something which is I'll be using is 3. So this is how the curly brace with a single number works. So let's see the snip for it. Yeah, I hope you're getting this point, how we are exactly using. I am using 0 to 9 with 3, and that's how it works. Now let's jump on to the next one. So here, as you can see, I have got various names of animals, and in these names I have, if you see, lion is allowed, tiger is allowed, mouse, cuckoo, deer is allowed, leopard is not allowed, fox is not allowed, kangaroo, cat is not allowed. That means it is starting with any number of characters, not any number. See, 1 with 4 is allowed, 5 is allowed, 6 is allowed, 4 is allowed, fox is 3, cat is 3, not allowed, leopard is 7, kangaroo is 8, not allowed. So that means I need to have the combinations here, which goes like this, that I can have any number of characters in A to Z range. If you also want to include uppercases, just write A to Z uppercase here as well. But this time it is going to be minimum of 4, maximum of 6, and it should end here. So this way what happens, I will say A to Z, 4 to 6, and then the dollar. So the curly brace says minimum there should be 4 characters of this, maximum it can be 6. If you pass beyond that, it won't work. So starts with any combination of A to Z, and ends also with the same, but so this simply says that it has to be a character. So as you can see in the code, exactly the same thing what I have done, and I said you will find the link for these codes in the description. You can check it out from there. So this is an interesting one of my favorite as well. Now you can see here I have got a lot of ha 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 ha. Now here, if it is a single ha or ha ha, it's not allowed, but 3 times also it's not allowed. So minimum is the 4 what I have got. Maximum it can be more than that as well, but it has to be in the combination. So here if you see, it's a bit unique one. If you just write the pattern what I have written in this order, it won't work. So here I have to make use of my round brackets to create a pattern. If you can see, HA, minimum 4 times, HA, minimum 4 times, HA, it's allowed for 4 times, HA. So minimum is 4, maximum is 9. But if I want to make use of that, yeah, even when it is used for 3 times, if I just make use of HA, and if I say minimum 4, maximum of 9, the problem here is it will look for the repetition of A. It will not look for the repetition of HA completely. So if I want to use this HA as a pattern, I will have to encompass this inside a round bracket. So when I use this as a round bracket, it will look for the combination of HA repeating for minimum 4 times, maximum 9 times, but not below that. Yeah. So if I only use HA without this pattern, what will happen? It will only look for the repetition of A for minimum of 4 times, maximum of 9. So it has to be only HA and not HA. So if you want to create a pattern, you'll have to make use of this round brackets. Yeah, as you can see in the code, what I've exactly done the same thing. Okay, so now in this next one, in the advanced one, what I want to look at, I have got foo bar, which is not allowed, foo xxx bar not allowed, foo x bar not allowed, minimum of 1, maximum any time of A is allowed in between. So I guess I have missed of 1 in the input list, not a problem. So here if I say foo a bar, foo a bar, foo a bar, so that means obviously it is starting with foo, ending with bar, but as you can see, minimum required quantity here is 1 and not 0. So in this situation, the way we had asterisk symbol there, here I have got a plus symbol, and the plus symbol is preceded with an A. So A is what either is 1 or more time the repetition is required. Yeah, 1 or more repetition of this is required. Yeah, as you can see in the code, what exactly I have done. So minimum 1, maximum any number of time, this will be allowed, and this is what we do here. Okay, now this is again a very classic one. Here you see that I want to do the matching. So here the regex symbol, what I'm going to use. So HTTPS HTTP colon slash slash is allowed. So here if I say the correct one will be, I have H starting with HTTP, then I have got colon slash slash any website name what I have given. I can use asterisk dot asterisk here and that will be working fine. But the thing is either HTTPS is allowed, but S is the only thing what I want to use here in between. But the thing is this should repeat for 0 time or 1 time. And this is the only character I want. I don't want X, I don't want XX. So here what I will do, I will say HTTPS and I will make use of a question mark. So question mark is either it is coming for 0 time or 1 time. So 0 or 1 when you want, you will basically make use of a question mark. Yeah, if you see in the code right now. So moving ahead to the last one now. Here identifying the pattern is bit difficult, not difficult, but it is bit something what I want to understand. It says it ends with wood. That is quite that is quite visible here, that it is ending with wood. But here when it is starting, there is no pattern which is giving me the exact one. Like for example, it is starting with red log. So there is, I can, both of them are 3 letter words, but they are not getting final. The log is getting final, ply is getting final. So what I will do in this implementation is I will say, see, it is ending with wood, that is final, but only 2 of them. So this is a very hard coded pattern. In this situation what I will do, I will say log and a pipe symbol and I will say ply. See, when you will use this, for example, and this will match up my pattern. So normally this type of patterns are used when you try to check the extension of a website, like it can be org, com, in, .co.in. So in that situation, you will, because you don't have any pattern there, you have to match the fixed characters one. So this is what you will do when you want to apply for this particular implementation of regex. So yeah guys, that's it from the regex basics and advanced. I hope you have enjoyed this and have a good knowledge about regex now. All the codes are available on a link in the description below. You can just go and check it out there. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and this was a very important one on regex. I hope you have got a good take on regex. So if you have liked this video, please do share it with your friends. Subscribe to my channel for more such video, and please do click on that bell icon. Thank you.